Now 25 to 11, and we're nearly at the end of Global Entrepreneurship Month. You know, I don't like it when we make these months. Oh, it's Global Entrepreneurship. It should be Global Entrepreneurship Day every day, man. And anyway, SMMEs, or small and medium-sized enterprises, are often considered as our economic lifeline, even though nobody throws them a lifeline. But anyway, government wants 90% of all formal jobs to be created by SMMEs by 2030. But a new study released last week, that was on the first of the Global Entrepreneurship Week, of course. It reveals that it is, in fact, our entrepreneurs that need the helping hand. Because remember what I said to the small business minister when she joined us. I said, the president needs to start his own what? I said he needs to start his own events company, because that's all he does. They have discussions about having discussions about getting the economy right, and have more discussions about the discussion they need to have about the discussion before they make a plan, which needs another meeting, right? And I said, you only see suits in those meetings. Where are the people with the all-stars, the jeans and the T-shirts? We don't see them at the president's meetings. We need to do something about this. But anyway, Karl Westvig is the CEO of Retail Capital, which commissioned the study around entrepreneurship, and he joins you right now. Karl, good to have you on the show.
Morning, Kieno. Great to be here.
Great to have you on. Now, listen, first talk to us about Retail Capital. What do you guys do?
So, we've been around for 9 years now, and we fund restaurant owners and SME business owners in South Africa.
Okay, so you commissioned this particular study. When you commissioned it, what was your major ask?
So we were trying to understand what an entrepreneur faces on a day-to-day basis. So what sort of challenges, how they're perceiving the economy, how they're perceiving their own trading, and then how do they survive? So what are the survival techniques as they go through it? So we had 720 entrepreneurs respond to an extensive study, and we had some fascinating stats that came out of it.
Now, okay, what type of study was this? Was this just a qualitative study, or did you do some quantitative work here as well?
So it's quantitative, so the sample size is big enough to draw inferences. And I guess the headline is only 10% of entrepreneurs we spoke to say that they're unaffected by the current economy. So 90% in some form are being affected negatively.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Wow, not unbelievable, it's believable. But whenever someone says that, it just, puts on the red light. Going, guys, warning the economy. We're looking at, the 3 months, less than 3 months that we have to get this economy on some, or get some sort of policy certainty. And entrepreneurship never seems to be part of the policy certainty that we're trying to create. Would you agree?
Exactly right. And at a headline number, we have a north of a 3 trillion rand economy in South Africa. And the amount of money that government's putting behind entrepreneurship or SMEs is tiny. It's in the couple of billions of rands, which is less than 1% of our economy.
But some of the Sorry, go on. Sorry for breaking your word. Go for it.
No, I was just going to say, if they were serious about creating jobs and supporting the SME owners, I think they need to pay more attention to it.
Yeah, but while we say that about government, and I said this to Michael Jordan online as well, and we point fingers in government, and you're right, and I just criticized them at the beginning of this show as well. But a lot of the access to market, we need access to market before someone throws money at us. Right? Would you agree with that?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Well, in most cases, I mean, they obviously it's not as simple as I make it out. But there's a retail company, for example, a petrol company. In all their petrol stations, they handed the coffee shops over to another big group that does food, right? And they say, you manage all our coffee shops. And as a matter of fact, I can tell you now, it was Caltex. And I spoke to Shashi Rabapal about this, the chairman. And I said, and my point was, it's crazy. Why recirculate money to businesses that already have money? So our corporates also have to take responsibility here as well, Karl, because those are potentially non-core stuff that they could make available, but they're too lazy to work at a granular level to make sure that people have access to these opportunities.
Agreed. So let me talk about some of the stuff we found in the study. So almost 60% are saying that demand is shrinking. And I think that's for the last 10 years, since 2008 onwards, we've had consumers having a harder and harder time, taking on debt. They've got big debt service costs. We're probably most indebted we've been in the last 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah.
So firstly, the consumer is under pressure. Secondly, almost 50% of the sample said to us that they're affected by services being offered, and that's your rolling blackouts, water in Cape Town. Their business has been affected by external factors, services being delivered. And then the other thing they've got is cost increases. So they're seeing electricity going up, petrol going up, et cetera, et cetera. So their input costs are growing, their demand's dropping, so they're getting squeezed, is the reality. To survive that, the one big eye-opener for me was in a large corporate, when you start struggling on costs, they start cutting staff and they start cutting overheads.
Yes.
When you're an entrepreneur, they cut their own salaries to save the jobs.
Oh, is that what you found in the study? They're saying, well, instead of laying off all these people because they've got families to feed, we taking home less instead.
58% of the sample said they took no salary or a reduced salary to pay overheads.
Wow.
57% said they borrowed from family or friends to survive. So, yeah, there's a lot of self-sacrifice in being an entrepreneur. This is not about corporate or shareholder money that you're using. This is your own money.
No, exactly. But I mean, we'll get to that other point I made earlier. But what about women and entrepreneurship, though?
Fascinating about this study is almost 65% of the sample were women that answered the survey. So, certainly where we fund, we're seeing sort of 40% of businesses we fund at the moment are women-owned or operated, which is pretty high. It's higher than what we expected. But in terms of answering the survey, I think there is a bias to women completing the surveys.
Wow. And what about technology, though? Everybody says, you're going to try this new bit of tech, man. It'll give you a foot in the door and help you compete with the corporates. Someone's got to find the money to implement those things.
I think it's a bit of a misnomer. I think there's a lot of the tech that you find nowadays is freeway and fairly low-cost platform-type stuff. So in the past, you had to go and buy a license that covered your whole organization. Now you can do it on a pay-per-click or pay-per-use basis. So you spoke earlier about distribution.
Yes.
The key thing for an entrepreneur is to build distribution and get to their market, get to their customers.
Exactly.
Only 26% of the sample saying that they're using technology to get to their market.
Yeah.
So proper digital channels, social media channels, etc. So if I can encourage them to do one thing, Instagram's free, Facebook's free, TripAdvisor is free. Create your profiles, create your Google profiles, make yourself visible in the digital world. And it's incredible. And just by driving people to complete your number of stars, the good service you've given, just drives traffic. There's a disproportionate volume of people that go to the highly rated TripAdvisor restaurant, as an example.
But convenience also plays a role, right? So something simple as, I say something simple, but you can get, and let's just talk about a coffee shop or a little boerewors stall or someone who just makes little rolls with whatever, like brekkie, on a beachfront on, I don't know, Atlantic seaboard. If they used, I don't know, Facebook Messenger and you attached a bot to it and people could order their breakfast through this particular bot, maybe the cost to you is going to be 500 Rand a month, right? But if you look at your upside at the end of it, $500 a month gives more people a convenient way of being able to order the food that you could potentially take to them or they can pick up. All of a sudden, you open up this massive market that's right in front of you digitally.
Exactly right. I mean, this whole rise of food service delivery, and you'll see Naspers process pumping huge amounts of money into this food delivery area. That's just technology. It's the same restaurants producing the food, and you've now got a system of motorbikes that's going to come and pick up and deliver. Yeah. But that convenience being created through technology.
Exactly
What you're talking about.
Exactly. And something simple like a credit card. If you have Yoko, or if you have SnapScan, or if you have those sort of payment methods available, more people will tend to buy from you because, once again, technology allows the convenience.
Exactly
So,
right.
We're chatting to Karl Westvig, by the way, CEO at Retail Capital. If you happen to be like some people say, an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, whichever way you want to pronounce it, you can pick up the phone and give us a call, and let's have a discussion around your lived experience. Louis in Kenwin's given us a call. He's an entrepreneur. Louis, good morning.
Hey, Kieno. Hi, Karl.
Good to have you on. Wait, hold on. I'm just going to ask Joe to put Karl on so we can hear both of you. Thank you very much. There we go. Karl can hear you now. Louis, Karl, Louis.
Hey, how's it, Karl? Kieno, Karl mentioned earlier that entrepreneurs, blah, 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 they normally take a cut to keep their staff employed, to look after the guys. The difference here is, with us, we know the name of each and every one of our staff members personally. We know their families. We know what they're doing. They're not numbers. In the corporate world, you're a number. So when they retrench 009, 112, 007, he needs to go or she needs to go. There is no personal connection. However, in a small business where you have 30 to 40 people, we understand the dynamics. We understand when the trains are late.
Yeah.
As much as it frustrates us, what do? We understand that one person is not only feeding 4 people, they are feeding up to 8 people at a time. So that wage bill that we have and what we pay, it's not looking after 40 people, it's looking after 150 people.
Yeah, and then
We understand that.
Exactly.
And then we get no help from government. And when they do tell us the finances are available, we've got to jump through these hoops, over these hurdles, and paperwork will take me 6 months of the year to fill in. I don't have time for that. I'd rather battle through because I don't have time for the paperwork.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think that is what's interesting. There is it's true. I mean, you have the bean counters come in, and you just happen to be one of the numbers under operational expenditure, for example. Because we want your EBITDA, your operational profit, to be a little bit much better. So let's cut over here and let's just get rid of you. So there's that mindset when it comes to Karl, bigger businesses. Your take on that?
So I think in the past, everyone thought that the big corporate world, your job was safe. And I think that mindset's changed somewhat. And certainly what Louis is saying is there's a high degree of empathy and understanding of who's with you, and you're in it together. You survive together, you fail together. So I think there's a much higher commitment in a smaller business to each other in that process.
Karl, absolutely. And if there are more calls, if you want to make your point this morning, you can pick up the phone and give us a call on 021 446 0567. I'll take the next 5 minutes to maybe take 1 or 2 calls on this particular issue, and I look forward to your interaction with the show on 021 446 0567 and WhatsApp on 072 567 1567.